The only thing we can do is to be neutral and true to history. We would never Photoshop something away, if you know what I mean. We wanted to be honest. And if somebody has a problem with that, let them take it up with their politicians or the history, because we're only retelling what actually happened, you know? The one I think most people can relate to, and it's also, I find it's easier for me as well, because let's say we sing about the first song is Sparta. It's about the last stand at Thermopylae by Leonidas and the 300 Spartans. Even though it's 10 years now since they made a movie about it, it was a very popular movie, most people I guess have seen it. Somehow that makes it easier to relate to, and also I've been to that battleground, and seen how it was there. I ran and looked for the pass, where they were betrayed, and having been there, having seen that movie, which by the way has nothing to do with reality at all, but it's still a good movie. That's probably the one I think is the most iconic of them all, at least. Because once you hear that song, you know what this album is going to be about. There is no question. It started out as an idea, actually. To be honest, we are into it, but Sabaton helped us get into it personally. I always liked history, and I think there are so many fantastic stories in our past, so why should we make new ones? But it started in 2004 when me and Per, the bass player, we were writing lyrics for that album, and we have the music for the song Primo Victoria. We thought we can't sing about drinking beer or going by motorcycles here. We need something that means something. And at that point we decided that, hey, let's do a song about the Allied landing on Normandy Beach on D-Day, 6th of June 1944. We knew the events pretty well already, but we did a little research just to be sure. And when we were writing the lyrics, we felt, wow, this is much more interesting than doing lyrics like we did before. So let's do an album about military history. Over the years we kind of have become collectors, not because we bought anything, but our fans are so fantastic because they've been giving us gifts, you know. I have shells fired on Normandy Beach on D-Day that's been given to us. I have heavy water from the Norwegian factory that was sabotaged so that Hitler could not make the atom bomb. And all of these crazy things we've been given over the years. So now we're actually starting to get a collection in our studio. The most spooky one, though, I must say, was in Gallipoli in Turkey. We were traveling from Istanbul. I think it's 7 or 8 hours of travel. You know, you have to go by car and then by boat and everything. When we get there, it looks like paradise. You know, there's flowers of all colors and it's beautiful, you know, the ocean and everything. And you think to yourself, where is the battleground, you know? And you look down and you realize you're standing on it. Because there are battlements, there are fortifications, but there's not so much left of them. But you are standing in the ruins of that. And to see pictures, what has happened to that, well, what was done to that paradise in World War I. So that, I think, was the most scary experience for me, to see how well it's recovered over 100 years by now, you know. Now I have a story from real life, though, how something can become bigger. For example, we sang a song called Smoking Snakes. It's about the Brazilian Expeditionary Force who fought in World War II in Italy. And over the last 2 years, we met 2 men who were fighting, you know, in that expeditionary force. Both of them were, I think one was 94 and one was 92 years old. To meet the people that have gone through this, that was probably, those become your favorite stories because you get a personal connection to them.
Gather round me, it's a one I speak. War, the hell is dollar on the shore, the camels still roar, the mountains might breathe, in bed when I sleep.
It was the first time we had that production of that size. But we are bringing that on tour now from January onwards, and for the festivals. Hopefully we'll be able to bring that here to Russia someday as well. The problem is there need to be a shitload of people there. You need to have a very big hall, because as you can see we have a huge video screen with video production. We have tanks, we have two sometimes actually, and the pyros and everything. So I mean, of course, in a perfect world, it's our dream to do the same show, not the same identically, but to be able to bring the same production to everywhere, you know, to every country. Well, he is a friend, but no, I think he had his own actually. I think it was the same company who delivered the pyros for him, for sure, because they have the license for Sweden Rock Festival, basically. I actually met him right after his show then, just before ours, because I had forgot that, but when we played in Munich earlier last summer, I had promised him a Bloody Mary, but when he came to collect on that promise, we didn't have any tomato juice. It started out as the release party for the album The Art of War. That was the first thing we did. And we invited bands we liked, we invited bands we toured with, and younger bands who haven't gotten much attention. And that's still what we do, but on a bigger scale. Because that first time it was a one-day festival with 1,500 people, and now we're a 3-day festival with 5,000 or 4,500 per day. Hopefully we'll be able to do something, and I know we will do something, but what exactly, I don't know. We've been discussing, should we maybe play the whole album, The Art of War, from beginning to end, because it's the 10th anniversary of that as well. But we've done that, played that one before in quite a lot of songs. So we want it to be spectacular. So, and we don't know how yet, but we will. I mean, we have, 6 months to find out, or 8. We try and make it nice for everybody, because it was not long ago we were visiting festivals, every year, both as visitors and as artists. So we have a pretty good insight from both point of views. So we are really involved, not in the day-to-day operations, but with the planning. And when we're starting to build the area, we're walking there and changing stuff. Like, no, it makes no sense that we have to walk from the bar around everything and back in here. We got to make it easy, access and everything. So, for example, we're one of the few festivals of our size where we have no mobile toilets. They're all water toilets for every visitor. Simple thing as that. Many people forget that, but if you're a visitor, different options of food, not only one, possibility to get clean, that you should get water for free instead of having to buy expensive bottles of water. Stuff like that. Of course, it's a festival. The beer is not going to be the cheapest, but the beer is a luxury. Water is not. If I say something wrong now, there's going to be so many people who get angry. Of course we'll drink, but that's going to be after the show anyway. so we can find a bar somewhere.